Am I okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Charlie Nunes. I'd like to talk to you today about why the Washington Redskins had to change the name. The Redskins itself, as I did some investigation, is a very hateful word and also showed a lot of prejudiceness and everything. Like the owner was an extremely prejudiced man. There's lots of history into that, and I'll go into that as I look into this speech. He originated the team in 1832 in 1932 as the Boston Braves, so that they wouldn't be confused with the baseball team, the Braves. He changed the name the next year to the Boston the Boston Redskins and hired a coach who claimed to be a Sioux Indian, a full-blood Sioux Indian, but actually the coach named Mr. Dietz, was just claiming to be so he could get out of the draft and have some tax benefits. So he actually had federal charges brought up against Mr. Coach Dietz, and Coach Dietz lost his ability to coach and also lost his reputation. So later on, George Preston Marshall was told that he had to have some black players. Well, he refused to do this. He said he would sign some black players as soon as the Harlem Globetrotters signed some white basketball players. In fact, when the Redskins decided to build a new stadium, it was on federal land, so that John F. Kennedy got involved and actually told Mr. Marshall that unless he signed black players, he would not be able to do the stadium. So, being forced, he actually did sign a player reluctantly and went from there. So, after Marshall had to sell the team to Jack Kent Cooke, you would think things turned around, but it didn't do that so much. The Redskins still kept the name, still claimed that they didn't have any prejudice problems with it, that it wasn't degrading to Indians. So in 1992, when they finished winning when they won the Super Bowl, there was over 2,000 people that were fighting about how the Redskins were a bad name and it was degrading to Indians. And the owner at the time said, "We supported the Indians. We don't have any problems with the Indians. In fact, Indians don't have any problems with our things." But however, there was a survey done by the University of Berkeley and also University of Michigan that said over 65% of American Indians found the name to be degrading. But let's look into what Redskins actually mean. If you looked in 1860, there was actually a group of people in Michigan that had rewards out for every Redskin scalp. They would get $200. A Redskin scalp would be an American Indian scalp. And today's money, that would mean they would get about $8,000 for every Redskin, for every Indian that they took the scalp of. So that's not very good. Then we have the fact that the American Indians in 1490 had almost 15 million people, and by the time 1890 had come around, they were down to 238,000 people. These poor Indians have been starved. They had been forced to move. They had lost over 1.5 billion acres of their land to American settlers, to Europeans that moved in. So there is a whole lot of great history. So the term redskin couldn't be much very uplifting. The last thing I'd like to do in closing is to look at the actual tragedies, a couple of actual tragedies that actually happened with the Redskins. In 1864, despite flying a flag of surrender, over 100 women and children were slaughtered, even though they had surrendered. They were slaughtered. And then later on, 210 people were killed by California volunteers, just slaughtered, and they had surrendered also. So, as you can see, there wasn't a lot of trust. So, when we sing after every time the touchdown scored, "Hail to the Redskins, hail victory, Braves on the warpath, fight for old DC." Are we really honoring the Redskins? Are we really honoring the American Indians? No. And that is why the name had to be changed. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Just turn around. There you go. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it.
You good?
Yes.